welcome back to the course on measure theory and integration. In this lecture, we are about to see the concept of measurable functions. Before getting into the concept of measurable functions, we must clearly understand that not all the sets are measurable, which means there exist some sets which are not measurable as well. Okay, it is of great importance to know about which sets are measurable, which are not. So the basic ideology to start with these is to begin with the functions, right? So functions are the ones that naturally arise when we talk about the concepts, whatsoever the concepts in mathematics. We always start with the function. So let us see some results based on the functions relating the measurability, right? Here we are given that f is some extended real valued function whose domain is measurable, which means f is defined from whatsoever the set to the extended real numbers. Okay, this set has to be a measurable set. So we have seen the definition of a measurable set. If x is said to be measurable, if for any set A, we have outer measure of A is same as that of outer measure of A intersection x plus outer measure of A intersection x complement. Okay, if this condition is satisfied for any set A, which means for every set A, if this condition is satisfied, then we say the set X is measurable. Here we are given that the following are equivalent. The following are equivalent means if either of them hold true, then the others are true. This is what we'll have to prove. We are not saying that this is all these statements are going to be true always. That is not the case. Only when one among this is true, then so are the others. This is what we will have to prove. Okay, let us start the proof formally. Okay, we know that script M is a sigma algebra. What does this script M contains? This consists of the form. This consists of the measurable sets on R. Okay, we'll have to we will have to make use of the properties of this sigma algebra. First, let us do the case when 1 implies 4 and the 4 implies 1. So first we will prove this result. How are we going to prove this? Assume uh, the set x such that the collection of x such that f of x is bigger than alpha is measurable. Okay, let me take this set to be the okay. I can choose this set to be equal to some a or something like that, and I can make use of the property of sigma algebra. Or even if I don't, then the complement of the collection of x such that f of x bigger than alpha is also measurable. So this one we know for sure. Am I right? What is this thing? If you see, you have a function that is defined from any set to the extended real numbers. You have some alpha here. Okay, sorry. You have some alpha here. Suppose if this is your function, first what you have chosen is that you have chosen the points x. So the points over here, these points are collected inside your set because your f of x is bigger than alpha for this range only. Okay, what is the complement? This range. This is the collection of x such that your f of x is smaller than or equals alpha. So this is the ideology, that is the collection f such that f of x smaller than or equals alpha is measurable. So we assumed 1 and we proved the result 4, right? So conversely, assume the collection x such that f of x smaller than or equals alpha is measurable. Since the collection X such that f of x bigger than alpha being a complement of measurable set is measurable. It is just a complement of some measurable set. That is why it is also turning to be complement. We have proved the 1 will imply 4 and 4 will imply 1. Using so 2 will imply 3 and 3 will imply 2. This is proved using the similar arguments. Using the same argument, we can establish this result, right? So this is not of this does not involve much great effort. We can just replicate what we have done to prove 1 implies 4 and 4 implies 1. So this is done. Next, what should we do? We will have to prove the other implications, for which now let us try to prove 1 implies 2 and 2 implies 1. Okay, we will go this way. Uh, Assume what is 1 and what is 2. So 1 is the collection f of x bigger than alpha is measurable, bigger than or equals alpha is measurable. So assume the collection f x such that f of x bigger than alpha is measurable. Now, how are we going to write this one? Bigger than or equals alpha. This shall be written as, okay, first of all, we are going to construct some set. Observe x such that f of x bigger than alpha minus 1 upon n. Okay, from alpha I am removing some quantity. So if you just look at this diagrammatic approach, this is my alpha. When I start with n equals 1, I have reduced 1 unit. Okay, if it is 2, then I would have this. Okay, so you have some graph of this set, or it may be, okay, this is some random example I have given. So this is your alpha. So this will collect points from this. Okay, when you take alpha minus 1, this would collect points from this point. Okay, when you take alpha minus 1 upon 2, this would take points from this point. Right? So when you keep on increasing your n, you would go nearer and nearer to alpha. Right? So this will happen to be true. And you just assume this is measurable for any alpha. Am I right? So this is true for any alpha. So in this way, if you keep increasing your n till infinity, it means what? When you make the countable, whether you'll have to now check whether you have to make union of all such sets or intersection of all such sets. You see, this is your alpha, which means you will have to include this point as well. Okay, but you are collecting sets from here, here, and then here, here. So from this onwards, an open set you are collecting. But as a result, you will have to start from this point. So in this case, you will have to take the intersection as n runs from 1 to infinity. Okay, since intersection of measurable sets is measurable, we conclude that the collection x such that f of x bigger than or equals alpha is measurable. Okay. Now, conversely, assume the collection X such that f of x bigger than or else is measurable. Now you will have to collect the set bigger than alpha. So this is to be written as the collection x such that f of x bigger than alpha plus 1 upon n. So here alpha plus 1. From here I will start. Okay, I must have from this, but I am starting with somewhere here, here. I'll come this way. So in that case, what should I do? I'll have to make the union of all such sets, right? Since the union of measurable sets is measurable, collection x such that f of x bigger than alpha is measurable. Okay, uh, using the similar arguments, like as we proved 1 implies 2 and 2 implies 1, using the same arguments or similar arguments, we can establish 3 implies 4 and 4 implies 3. This shall be proved in a similar way. Right? So now we'll have to pay attention to prove the other conditions implies the last condition. What is that? That is for each extended real number alpha x, the collection x such that f of x equals alpha. That set is also missing. This is what we'll have to prove now. Okay, for which what are we going to do? Right. So we just prove um, 2 implies 5 and 4 implies 5. So for that, let us consider the collection x such that f of x equals alpha. This may be written as collection x such that f of x bigger than or equals alpha intersection collection x such that f of x smaller than or equals alpha. Actually, we are proving this 2 and 4 together implies 5. Okay, how can we prove, assuming two conditions, how can we prove the another one? It is just because 2 implies 4 and 4 implies 2 is trivial. Okay, even if you assume one condition, by the implication, the other is going to be true. So, there is no issue in taking two conditions and proving the other one. Okay, so this is happening to be true for any real number alpha. Okay, and since the intersection of two measurable sets is measurable, we conclude the collection x such that f of x equals alpha is measurable. Right? Now, we are about to prove the condition 2 will imply 5 and 3 will imply 5. So, 4 will imply 5. So, for which separately I am going up. Let me choose alpha to be equal to infinity. Then the collection x such that f of x equals alpha may be written as intersection of n equals 1 to infinity f of x is bigger than or equals n. For if you choose n to be a larger, very larger quantity, okay, it is going larger and larger. All these sets are measurable. Okay, all these sets are measurable. Again, using the property that intersection of measurable sets is measurable. So using this property, we can prove f of x equals alpha as measurable. Next, let us do 4 implies the fifth condition. Let's alpha to be equal to minus infinity. Then absolute of x such that f of x equals alpha shall be written as integral n runs from 1 to infinity x such that f of x is smaller than or equals minus n. So using the similar argument, okay, using the same result, we can establish the collection of x such that f of x equals alpha as measurable. Okay, so we can easily, okay, we have established all the requirements and with which we conclude this one. Okay, and if you have to, okay, in the statement what is given, let us revisit the statement. Finally, first four statements are given to be equivalent. Okay, when they said about statement 5, they just simply said that these statements will imply equation 5. Sorry, the fifth statement. Okay, fifth need not imply the other ones. Okay, that is not given. Though first four statements will imply the fifth one, that is given. Fine. Next, we have the definition of a measurable function. An extended real valued function f is said to be a measurable. In particular, Lebesgue measurable if its domain is measurable. Okay, the function that is defined from a to 0 infinity or x to 0 infinity, this has to be measurable. And this function has to satisfy either of this condition. Okay, satisfies either of this condition. That's it. In that case, we call that function as a measurable function. The next proposition that we are about to see is that here c is given to be any constant. Okay, so basically we are talking in the set of real numbers. Therefore, this constant means it has to be a real constant only. Okay, and f and g are given to be two measurable real valued functions. Remember, they are two measurable real valued functions defined on the same domain. Okay, which means if f is defined from x to r are the extended real numbers, that is of no bother. This g has also be defined. G must be defined from x. Okay, suppose if initially you are given with g, then this must be the same, which means both the functions must have the same domain. Just by stating they are real valued functions, it is trivial that the codomain is a set of real numbers. Now we'll have to prove the functions f plus c, cf, f plus g, g minus f, fg, these are all measurable. Okay, let us start the proof. So if you notice here, actually what is given? Given f and g are measurable functions. If they are measurable, this will satisfy either of the four conditions that we have seen in the previous proposition. Okay, so let us assume that f satisfies some condition, that is the collection x such that f of x smaller than alpha and the collection g such that g of x smaller than alpha are measurable sets. Okay, just because we have assumed the functions are measurable functions, the sets are also measurables. We can make use of either of the four conditions. I am just proceeding with this one. If you want, you can proceed with the some other condition. I am making use of the third condition to prove this proposition. Okay, now first thing, what should we prove? We'll have to claim f plus c is measurable, right? This alpha can be any real value. Okay, for any alpha in R, this is what we are talking about. So in order to prove this function is measurable, we'll have to claim what? So we'll have to check whether this f plus c of x, this is happening to be true or not. This is what we'll have to see. Okay, we'll have to examine whether this set is measurable set or not, for which what we are doing is that we just see what is this. This is f of x. Since c is a constant, this would be c itself less than alpha. Okay, this is absolute, sorry, collection x such that f of x less than alpha minus c, which means what? This alpha minus c is given to be here c is in R, alpha is also in R. So together that tells us that alpha minus c is a member of R. Am I right? Since the collection x such that f of x smaller than alpha minus c is measurable, we can conclude the collection x such that f plus c of x less than alpha is also measurable, right? Okay, now we have proved this one. Just by proving this set as measurable, what did we prove actually? That is, the function f plus c is measurable, right? So moving further, uh, next our claim is to prove cf is measurable. So in order to prove CF is measurable, what are we going to consider? We'll have to consider the collection X such that CF of X smaller than alpha. We'll have to establish this set is measurable, for which this is nothing but X such that C times of F of X is smaller than alpha. This is nothing but collection X such that F of X less than alpha upon C. Okay, since we are in the extended real number system, even if c is 0, we'll have that to be smaller than infinity. Even then, this set is measurable. Okay, since the collection x such that f of x smaller than alpha upon c is measurable, we get the collection x such that cf of x smaller than alpha is measurable. So this proves the function CF is measurable. Next, we'll have to prove. Just a minute, let me check if I have. Yeah, okay, no issues. The next claim is to prove F plus G is measurable. So for which what should we consider? We'll have to consider collection X such that F plus G of X smaller than alpha. So this shall be written as x such that f of x plus g of x is smaller than alpha, right? So now for any rational number r, what we have is the collection x such that f of x plus g of x is smaller than alpha shall be written as the collection x such that f of x is smaller than r intersection with the collection x such that g of x is smaller than alpha minus r. You don't know what this r is. This is given to be some rational number only. So actually this r can be varied, right? So these are two different collections you have taken. Whether you have to decide whether you have to make the union of these sets or intersection of these sets. Okay, even if alpha is some irrational value, we don't know whether alpha is irrational value or rational value, but still we are identifying some r such that from here, suppose this is my r, next I'll choose somewhere else too. Okay, so I'll collect, this is my f. Okay, let us consider this way, this is my f, and this is my g. Okay, so what should I do now? Suppose this is my f, means I'll have to consider this point. This is going to be my first set. Okay, next alpha minus r. If this is my alpha, this is my r, I would have something alpha minus r here. So I will have to collect the points below which it lies. So it means it lie here. So this collection I'll have to take. Okay, so I am just making the intersection of these two collections, if I shift my r somewhere else, okay, if suppose this is my r, then my alpha minus r is shifted, then I would have till here. Okay, here from this point. So it is very obvious that we are going to make the union here, right? So this shall be written as union under r. Okay, now r is a member of what? Since R is a member of rational numbers and the set of rational numbers is countable, we can control the expression in RHS is a countable union. Okay, that is a countable union. Fine. What about the sets that are inside this union? So this is some measurable set. This is some measurable set. Intersection of two measurable sets. Okay, I think that is. Let me just give you the ideas. Okay, this is a measurable set. This is also a measurable set. Okay, for any r. So the entire intersection is a measurable one. Uncountable union of. So we use the fact that countable union of countable sets, countable union of measurable sets is measurable. So with this result, we come to a conclusion that the collection x such that f of x plus g of x smaller than alpha is measurable. Okay, next to climb, g minus f is measurable. Okay, for which what are we going to do is that we know that Cf and f plus g are measurable provided f and g are measurable and this c is some real constant. Okay, so in particular let us choose c to be equal to -1, then minus f is measurable. This will give you g plus of minus f is nothing but g minus f is measurable. Right? We just established this one. Now it is left to prove what fg is measurable. In order to prove this, first let us establish f square is measurable. Okay, so with which we can easily prove fg is measurable. Okay, so first we prove f square is measurable. This one is measurable function whenever f is a measurable function. So let us consider for alpha bigger than or equal to 0 the collection x such that f square of x bigger than alpha. So this is nothing but collection x such that f of x bigger than alpha, sorry, bigger than root alpha union the collection x such that f of x smaller than minus under root alpha. Okay, both of these sets are measurables. Okay, because of the implications and the assumptions that we have made, both these sets are measurable. Okay, since x such that f square of x bigger than alpha being a union of measurable sets, this quantity is measurable. This set is measurable. Okay, we just prove only when alpha is bigger than or equal to 0. We have not proved for the case when alpha is smaller than 0. When alpha is smaller than 0, then the collection x such that f square of x bigger than alpha is going to be your entire domain. Okay, domain of f. Why is it so? Let us revisit. Okay, two measurable functions defined on the same domain. This is what we said. Okay, we are saying this alpha, this alpha has to be here. In particular, we have chosen it to be some negative value. Okay, so if it is some negative value, then f square of x, which means what you are just making a square of a function, a real valued function. A square of a real valued function is always positive. A positive quantity will always be bigger than a negative quantity. So this will collect all your points of the domain. So that is why it equals the domain. Okay. By the definition, of measurable function, this domain is measurable. So as a result, what did we get is that the function f square is measurable. Okay. Now in order to prove fg is measurable, we are going to construct a function with the help of these functions. Fg shall be written as half times of f plus g whole square minus f square minus g square. Okay. We write fg in this form. This proves fg is measurable because square of any measurable function is measurable of the algebraic operations. That also we have proved, and the scalar multiple also we have proved. So with which we prove this function is also measurable. With which I conclude this lecture. In the upcoming lecture, we are going to prove few more results on these measurable functions, and we will see about something called Dilwood's three principle. Thank you.